Join us as we go live at this hour to the city of Jerusalem in Israel as a new retaliatory action is taking place on behalf of Iran following the terrorist actions that have been performed on Friday by the Israeli government of Benjamin Netanyahu. This is breaking news at this hour. Iran launched a retaliatory action against the city of Jerusalem at this hour, promised to deploy a massive launch of missiles, promising that this is going to be an intense night for the country, for Israel, following the actions performed by the Netanyahu regime, following the criminal launching of missiles earlier on Friday. This is what is happening at this hour. Highlights of today: Iran and Israel are trading missiles and airstrikes as a conflict that has killed dozens escalates with no end in sight. At least 80 people, including 20 children, have been killed in Iran and 4 in Israel as well, with hundreds wounded on both sides in the ongoing tit-for-tat attacks that are taking place in the Middle East, a massive escalation of the crisis of the conflicts that have been plaguing the region following the ambitions, following the genocide actions that Israel have performed first on the people of Palestine, then to the people of Lebanon, Syria, Iraq and the region, and now against the people of Iran. At least also 80 people, including 20 children, have been killed in Iran and also 4 in Israel, with hundreds of wounded on both sides of these ongoing tit-for-tat attacks. The Israeli military says its airstrike as well on Iran have killed more than 20 Iranian army and Revolutionary Guards commanders. Heavy attack on Israel is expected and is unfolding at this minute against the city of Jerusalem at this hour. Iran's state TV is also reporting that heavy and destructive retaliatory attacks by Iran are expected as well within the coming hours. The government of Iran and the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei have promised a very intense night following also attacks from Israel towards the nuclear facilities of the country, in spite of the dangerous consequences that could have for the people of Iran and also for the region as well, in a context in which all the countries of the region are on high alert, following closely this massive escalation of hostilities in the Middle East. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, speaking with Saudi Arabia's bin Salman earlier today, when he held a telephone call with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, assured, "Since taking office as president, I have sought to strengthen peace, stability and security in the region, but the Zionist regime has disrupted and sabotaged every area where we wanted to achieve something." This retaliatory action that has been promised to be a heavy one, as Israel authorities are urging the population of Israel to take shelter, comes at a moment in which the Iranian government has take advantage of every possibility to reach a peaceful dialogue and a peaceful solution to these ongoing negotiations that are underway regarding the nuclear program of the country. This comes at a context in which Iranian government have been holding negotiation talks with the US government to reach an agreement on the nuclear program of Iran, being also a sovereign state with a self-determination to develop its nuclear program on the benefit of the Iranian population, and has been for years and decades halted by the powerful nations of the West, who have been imposing sanctions on the Persian nation of the Islamic Republic of Iran for the sole objective of halting the development of the country, of halting the development, the sustainable development of the people of Iran. And this is taking place at a moment of high concern for the entire international community. The United Nations Security Council have been holding emergency sessions to address this situation. The whole world is witnessing with horror what is taking place. There has been ongoing missiles launching from one side to the other. Also, Iran has promised not to leave the blood of their martyrs in vain, and they have promised to protect the sovereignty of their state. They have assured and guaranteed that they will protect the Iranian citizens, and this is a retaliatory action that has been performed by the armed forces of Iran to defend the sovereignty of the nation, to defend the country from these brutal attacks that have been taking place ever since very early on Friday morning as part of a surprise action that also was a premeditated one, that had the support of the United States in a moment in which precisely the United States is summoned in a brutal police brutality against the people of the United States that are protesting the immigration policies of the United States, of the President of the United States, Donald Trump, in its massive anti-immigrant campaign and massive deportation campaign. Meanwhile, President Trump is prompting this conflict in the Middle East, disregarding the internal actions, the internal conflicts that the United States has in itself, at a moment as well in which thousands are currently taken to the streets for over 9 days to protest the ICE campaigns against migrants in the country. So the world is facing a multidimensional crisis from several corners of the world. Meanwhile, the rest of the entire international community is urging both sides, Israel and Iran, and also the United States, to halt all of the military actions and to have a peaceful solution to the conflict. But Israel keeps attacking Iran, keeps launching missiles, and Iran is, of course, applying retaliatory actions in order to defend their sovereignty. Let's recall that President Putin assured and denounced that Israel's attacks on Iran during a telephone call with Donald Trump earlier today, assured that the phone call between Putin and Trump focused on the Middle East. Vladimir Putin denounced, according to Kremlin's spokesperson, that the Israelis' military operation against Iran is repudiable and expressed a grave concern over the possible escalation of this conflict, which would have unpredictable consequences for the entire situation in the Middle East region, according to Yuri Ushakov, one of the spokespersons of the Kremlin. Also, Donald Trump made a statement following this telephone call with the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and Donald Trump assured this war in Israel-Iran should end, he said. The U.S. president said he spoke to Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin about this conflict, and he said, he feels, as do I, that this war in Israel-Iran should end, to which I explained his war should also end. This is what Trump said. Of course, but Trump has been the complicit for over a year on these attempts of Israel to spread horror and terror and wars throughout the region against the people of Palestine in the first place, then also against the people of Lebanon, against the people of Yemen. The region entirely has been a victim of these policies of terror and horror applied by the Netanyahu regime, who has as its main accomplice accomplice the U.S. administration of Donald Trump, who also has been supporting Israel with military aid and intelligence aid as well. It's helping Israel to shut down the retaliatory missiles launched by Iran in the past few hours as well. So these prove that Trump is also an ally